Hello everyone, welcome back to Monday Quilt Chat. Glad to see you made it through the weekend. I know it's a busy one for a lot of you folks, and here we are on Monday getting ready to get back to business, whether it's going to a job somewhere or getting busy in the sewing room, getting some quilting done, whatever it may be. Here we are, so let's have a little motivating chat, if you will, to see if we can get ourselves going off to a good start this week. From the looks of my hair, I think it's going to rain soon. It's a little fuzzy. I'm not sure why it's so fuzzy, but it usually indicates rain. So, you know, some people have a trick knee. I have frizzy hair, so you can count on my hair to tell you that it's going to rain. I don't know how much it's going to rain. We really need it. It's so dry here and dusty, and yeah, it's overdue, and I think I would welcome a little bit of rain, even though rain is not my thing at all. Some people love rain. They love to hear it rain. They love the way it smells. They love gloomy days, and I'm just not one of those people, but we definitely need some rain so that we can keep our grass growing, so that we can mow it. Well, and to keep the flowers alive and gardens alive and all those types of things that we need rain for. So I hope it's nice where you are and things are coming up and growing and flourishing in your gardens. And some of you mentioned last week when I talked about that you're already harvesting some things like radishes and whatnot, and you know, pretty soon we'll have the tomatoes and all the other lovely things that we look forward to every summer. So this past weekend I got pretty busy on the Nantucket summer, and I wanted to share that with you first because it's the most exciting thing in my life right now that I'm doing. But I'm working on this finishing, like been showing you. This finishing, where is it? Let me show you the cover of the Nantucket summer. Yeah, that was it. So the finishing are those outer very light squares, and then there's one dead in the center as well. Those are all the same design, and then there's pairs there that go off to each corner that look like a log cabin with a star inside of it. So that's what I'm starting on now, are those stars. But here's what I got done. I got those 5. They look almost clear. You can't even hardly tell that they have very little color other than the corner pieces here. But that's what they look like. And they're just almost transparent. But there was 5 of those, and they're big. They're 16.5. Not too difficult, but it just took some time, and I had a couple of things I had to rip out that I had in backwards, but not too much. They went together pretty easily. So I got those done, and I think my plan for this week is to just keep going on this until I've already filled out my schedule, and I have down that all of today and tomorrow, which is Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to see how far I can get on this, because I need to do other things, of course, and it's taking up room on my cutting board. And, you know, everything's cut and labeled, and, you know, it's not easily moved. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep going on this and try to get it in, at least into the form of full-on blocks, you know, all these blocks finished. And then there's also some additional strips that I need to put on some of the blocks from the block of the month. So some of them have additional pieces that go on them. So I'll have 8 of these to make, and then a bunch of these with strips added to them. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I say we, that's me and that mouse in my pocket, right? But right now I'm on this part right here, which are these little stars. So if I can get those little stars done, that's the inner part of the log cabin pieces. So that's where I'm at on it. So if I can get those done today and start on the log cabin pieces, then maybe on Tuesday I can pretty much see the end of this. Don't know if I'll get all the blocks connected into rows and all of that into a top, but at least I have all those pieces off of my cutting table so I can do the other things I need to do, like Barnstar sampler. I need to cut for that, and that takes a lot of room. And something else, I was wanting to do a Harriet's Journey. I didn't get to that last week because that was all over my table. So, and then this Wednesday I'll be having a video on something, and the couple of ideas that I have is finishing out the art journal panel quilt, the ones with the birds, one with the birds, all the little different birds, and I put the black sashing in here a couple weeks ago, in between them and the border. So the top is done, but I would like to make a video on quilting that and binding it if possible. It's either that or start another one. I don't know. Just like last week, you'll just have to be surprised as to what Wednesday's video is going to be. Also, this past weekend, just as a little bit of a diversion from this, I did clear out a little section of my cutting table to cut my pieces for this. So I have that all ready to go. All I have to do is sew these up. So there will be those diagonal rows. So that is going to be, I have that down on Wednesday, and I feel pretty certain I can get the entire top put together on Wednesday. So that's what I'm going to do on Wednesday. Right after that, I'm going full on back into the duster. And some of you all mentioned too that I probably need to stick with that duster from the beginning to the end. Not my style. But for garment sewing, I probably really should do that, because when you sew a garment, you don't usually work on several garments at a time like you do quilt projects or craft projects. You might have several things going at a time, but it's very, very dangerous to do that with garment sewing. So I'm not going to intersperse my other quilt projects in with my duster while I'm working on that. As far as I can tell, I'm going to have a good 2.5 days, full days if I wanted, if I can last that long, to work on it, and then I'll have the weekend. So depending on how that goes, if it's going smoothly and I'm into it, then I might just continue right through the weekend and have that done by next week. So that would be exciting, wouldn't it? Yes, that is the plan for this week. So here is oh, this is cool. While I'm in my planner, I want to show you the quilt of the week. I think I may have just put all of this on the wrong week. I did. So let me go back. I wondered why that looked funny. Let's see, what month is this? Would somebody yell out what month this is? June. It's June. Oh, it's poppies. Peaceful poppies. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Very pretty. Okay, peaceful poppies. This is a 20 by 22. So this is small. It's an art quilt. It is from Helen Smith Stone of Duluth, Minnesota. It says Helen took a photo of her garden, which inspired her to create this wall quilt. The quilt includes fusible applique using numerous hand-dyed solids and batiks. Helen added thread painting with cotton and rayon variegated threads to add dimension and realism. Free motion machine quilting was done by Norma Ream. The piece was featured by the Duluth Folk School in a special exhibit and on The Slice, that's in parentheses, The Slice, by WDSE WRPT, a PBS television station in Duluth, Minnesota. That's interesting that she would have someone else quilt that after she did thread art on it. I'm assuming it would be after, because she said she added thread painting and cotton and rayon variegated threads, and then after that it says free motion machine quilting was done by Norma Ream. That's a good question. I would say yeah, the quilting would have had to have been done afterwards. Here's a close-up of the quilting and the thread art. But yeah, she just took a picture of her poppies and copied it from there. That's something you can do if you have a notion to, you know, strike out and do some art pieces. Take a picture and then try to replicate it with fabric. You can totally do that. Or landscape. You know, I did that landscape quilt once. And one of you sent me a photo of a mountain water scene that I was wanting to make a landscape quilt from that. So yeah, just take a picture and just try to replicate it with fabric and throw some thread art on there and quilt it. Very nice. 20 by 22. That would be a good place to start too. Something kind of smallish, so that you don't get overwhelmed with it. So that's the plan. I have to move I had jumped over into July, so I've got to move my plans from there to the right week, this week. It's always something with me, isn't it? Okay, what else? I'm looking around. Oh, I got in from Soya a piece of African batik. This is kind of a navy with a medium green and then a lighter blue here. Actually, it's kind of white and it's got blue veins on it. But this is great. It just feels good. It feels more like canvas or something. It is just regular cotton you can put into a quilt, but it feels nice and stiff, like batik does. And I just really want to make a bag out of this. I really do. This is really pretty. And I know this is not this is not real busy like some of the African batiks are, but that was kind of what I was looking for. I wanted a piece of it, but I wanted something a little less crazy. How about that? So I was really pleased when I opened this and saw it. It's very nice. And then I also got a couple of pieces of fabric from Missouri Star Quilt Company. This is from Free Spirit, and it's called, one of them is called Typewriter Foundations, and the other one is Parcel Foundations. But I just thought they were cool. Let me go ahead and open these. Let me get a scissor. Using my handy dandy cheapo scissors from TEMU. They will cut. But they had some, these are 2-yard cuts. They had a 2-yard cut sale like they have sometimes. And I thought these were very unusual and I wanted them. So I bought 2 yards of each. I I thought it might make an interesting not backing, but an interesting background, possibly. This is the postal one, or what is it called? Parcel Foundations. Let me see who this is from. It says this fabric is designed to have a distressed appearance with printed imperfections. Yeah. Okay, it's from Tim Holtz. Eclectic Elements. And this one's called Dapper Vintage Receipts. Well, they had it down as Rose Parcel. So isn't that cool? I like that. It's receipts. Old-timey receipts. I don't know. Just saw it and had to have it. I like 2-yard cuts because that's usually enough for a background on something. This might look good with some something kind of vintagey floral. Something like that maybe. I saw Tammy Ernest. She has a YouTube channel and she's a long armor. And she has some rather long shows where she's talking about her projects and her long arming business and who she's long armed for, and you know, the projects that she's gotten done long arm, both hers and others. And she was doing the, I think it's Fat Quarter Shop pressed flowers, and I kind of want to get in on that. Or maybe at least get the pattern and get in on it later. I don't know. This one is called, this one has a little more blue in it maybe, or gray. This is typewriter stuff. See that keyboard? It's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm assuming it's also Tim Holtz. Let's see here. Not sure why I'm not seeing it, but I have to tell y'all something. The other day when I was cutting up this fabric for the Nantucket Summer, they sent me a huge piece of white to do this finishing with. It was like 3 or 4 yards, but I had so much extra left over from my blocks, my monthly blocks. I used all that up first, and I only ended up using like 1.5 yards of that white that they sent me. So I still have a huge hunk of white. It's a Moda fabric with, it's kind of like a checkered, but it's white on white. But this was the first time I had received any fabric before where it hadn't been folded, and then like they would, after you fold it selvage to selvage, you'd put it on a bolt, right? Well, it had been cut right off the roll because it was folded in such a way that you could see that they had never brought the selvages together and folded it and had it on a bolt. So I guess for those blocks of the month, there's no sense in them bolting the fabric. Well, I had that open and then I closed it here. Yes, Eclectic Elements again by Tim Holtz, and this one's called Memoranda. Memoranda. So that's the typewriter one. Cool. I like these. I gotta think of something cool to do with them. Fold that up. Now there's another thing that I want to show you, and this is the first time I've seen it too. In action anyway. I bought a vacuum cleaner for my sewing machine. It's a little bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more the size of one of those little like sweater shavers thing, but then have this. And now it does have this a little brush you can brush with. So I've got it all charged up, so I thought maybe you and I could see if it works. It was $15.67. Let's try it. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see. I don't know if you can see that, but I have my throat plate off, and I was going to grab all of this fuzzy stuff right here, and I think I'll go ahead and pull my bobbin case out so that I can see down in there. Now, I just cleaned this maybe middle of last week because it needed it so bad. I was trying to wait, but I had to go ahead and do it and put a new needle and all that stuff. But it's about half as bad again already. So I'm going to go ahead and use this and see how it works. Okay, so as I thought, I can't get up under this feed dog piece, but I think I'm going to try this to see if I can get under there. Oh, can't do that like that. I have to use the long piece and then put it on the long piece, I think. Is that how it goes? Okay. So I'm assuming it's going to go like this. But it doesn't really want to like snap in or anything. You can't like push it to a certain point and it stops type thing. Kind of. But basically you just put it on straight there until the seal, the opening is all sealed up with this. So let me see if this helps. Well, you see what's happening to me there? It's trying to like flip off. I'm wondering if it, there we go. You do have to kind of push it on a little bit better, but make sure that it's straight. Let's try again. Well, it's okay. It's a little bit too big still. This was advertised as a car vac. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think this would pick up anything off of a floorboard. It is picking up this dust pretty well, the fuzzies that's inside of here. But I can't get any farther down than this much. I can get a little bit farther without the brush down here, but I still can't get down into the bottom. Now I could get down here and, well, no, I can't even do that. So there's just too much body to this to get under my sewing machine to get the pieces under here. And then this part right here, I can't get under the feed dog area, and it's still a little big even with the brush to get everything that I need to get at. It's just a little too big. Now you probably could take your regular sewing machine brush or whatever kind of brushes you use and loosen it up first and then vacuum it out. I don't know, it might be an okay thing to have in here to just kind of not have to pick it out, because what I've been doing is just using my little nylon brush that come with the machine and just kind of picking it out. Sometimes I'll get a piece of tape and lay here and stick it onto that so it doesn't go flying back in. I know there's a lot of tricks to cleaning this out. I'm not really looking for anything. I just wanted to see, you know, what this would do. I thought if it would be a little handy thing that you can keep in the sewing machine or in the sewing room and handy to get at, that it would solve this problem. But I'll use it. I'll use it for that purpose. Was it worth $15.67? I don't know. Maybe $9.99 would have been a better price. Now, if it was much smaller, I think the power of it would have been good if the area here was smaller and the actual whole apparatus itself was smaller. But you can see that it did pick up. It doesn't not suck. It does suck. Ma'am, your vacuum will suck. Do y'all ever watch Forged in Fire? You know what I'm talking about when I say that. Okay, experiment over. Okay, now we know. I had ordered that myself with my own money, along with a pair of sandals, which were very cute. I don't remember what I paid for them, and I don't have them in here. This is not a clothing channel, but they were okay. I think the quality and the price kind of matched up, and they'll probably last through the summer. And then I also bought two dresses. One was a polyester dress with a belt, and another one was like a linen polyester blend. And they were cute, but definitely the quality wasn't there, but I didn't pay that much for them. So they were like $9 to $12 each one. And then also, TEMU reached out to me and asked me if I would make them a video if they gave me some free stuff. So I agreed to that. They gave me a budget of $140, and I picked out 20 items related to crafting, sewing, quilting, organization, anything you and I would use, in this craft. So that should be coming soon, and I'll have another video on that if it interests you. If you see a TEMU video of mine pop up and you don't want anything to do with TEMU, please don't feel like you have to watch it. If somebody's going to give me something to review, why not? So I didn't pay for anything, so I figure, why not? So I will be doing that again. I have an opinion of TEMU already, as you all can probably tell from my last video on that. But yeah, if somebody's willing to give me something to review, okay, I'll do that for you. So that's in our future. All right, let's see. What else can I let you in on? I don't think I have any secrets or anything like that to share with you. So I guess that will be it for this week. So I'll be back here on Friday to let you know how I'm doing on things and what happened. I didn't feel really very accomplished from last week, really, but I did get a lot of, getting these 5 big blocks done this weekend was nice. And Friday you'll get to see if I I got that top done, if I got the Yellowstone done, and how far I am on the duster. So stay tuned for Finish It Friday. Send me your finishes as well if you have any. And look out for that Wednesday video. We'll just have to see what it is again. I'm just not too much of a planner, a header type person. So hang in there. Hang on tight. You just never know. All right, have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.